What is up, YouTube? That's here. Today we're playing more Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl 6v6 singles. We're using Muk today. What do you have to say about that, my guy? It's cautiously listening to the surrounding sounds. Yo, Muk is super cool. I remember back in the day, Pokemon Let's Go, I used so much Alolan Muk. We got to a point where like most of the viewers actually hated watching videos if I had an Alolan Muk in my team. If you guys are one of the few people that remember me using Alolan Muk in Pokemon Let's Go battles, you guys are the real MVPs. Thank you so much for supporting content on this channel. I want to direct you guys to the question of the day, and that is, do you wish they actually added Alolan forms in BDSP, like Alolan Muk, Alolan Ninetales, Alolan Sandslash? Would you guys have liked to see them, or do you think this game is better off the way it is? I kind of wish they added only Alolan Muk, because I think Alolan Muk is really cool. But today we are rocking a really cool Muk set that uses like Rest, Acid Armor, Power Up Punch, Poison Jab with Poison Touch, and Black Sludge. Really cool stuff. Hopefully I can actually get it to work in a couple games. And speaking of those games, we're gonna hop right into them right now. Wish me luck. Here we go. Man, is that a Spirit Tomb? Oh my gosh. Alright, I actually think Muk can do super well against this. Like, obviously, we have to watch out for the Azelf. I think Azelf's probably the biggest threat, so if we can use, like, a Suicide Lead or something to take out that Azelf relatively quickly, we can be in a great spot. I actually think I might just lead Azelf and just go for a hard U-turn into a Gliscor and then U-turn again. Let them get their rocks and then maybe defog them out and just U-turn again. So that's kind of the idea here. Azelf's also just really good versus, like, a lot of those mons. So let's see if they actually lead with like Spirit Tomb. That'd be kind of crazy. Spirit Tomb's hard to. I kind of want to use Spirit Tomb actually. That sounds really fun in this format. Spirit Tomb sounds pretty fun to use. Let's see what you got. Heracross. We can just click Psychic. I am just gonna click Psychic. Like, the cool thing about their team is they can go huge into the Psychic weakness and then just do I want to click Psychic? They're probably sashed, right? They're probably scarfed. No, they're probably sashed. I'm gonna U-turn. If you're scarfed, you're scarfed. I can't stop that. You won't be able to get the KO on me, and I'll be able to U-turn safely into something that can, like, check you. Because if you're locking yourself in, like, a U-turn... Okay, you're not. Alright, so you're sashed. Which means you're going for a U-turn. Who do I want to go into? Gliscor. Gliscor, boys! Get that Toxic Orb active. And then I'll just U-turn back out into my Azelf after soaking a little bit of damage and activating my Toxic Orb, which is super nice. Which means I can switch on potential like Will-O-Wisp and stuff. Perfect. Doesn't do that much at all. We can click the EQ, but that would bait them going in with their Rotom or their Azelf. I'm just gonna... Oh, their Guts. Okay, that's fine. I can take this damage. Even if you go for like a Stone Edge, I can just take it. Yeah, it's fine. Facade, I can still eat this. Yep, I can definitely eat that and go right back into my Azelf. I might be able to go into Garchomp here. Or Rotom. Heracross has a pretty decent Spadef. I am going to go right into the Azelf. And I will click the Psychic again. If you go into the Spirit Tomb, I'll just go for a U-turn, back onto my Gliscor, get the heal, and I should be good to go. And then eventually maybe I'll get Rocks up or something. I kind of want to set Rocks right now. Because if you go into Spirit Tomb, you're going to have to take Rocks with like 3 other Mons. You do have a defog view of your own in your Gliscor though. So I'll just go for a U-turn here. Wow, they actually just stayed in! I could have just clicked Psychic! Okay, they're gonna click Mega Horn again. That was a crit. I cannot believe that they were just gonna throw that away. I thought they were gonna click Spirit Tomb. Muk's okay. We can't go into the Gliscor right now. We have to go into the Muk. Wow, what a crazy guy! I could have just clicked Psychic! Sod, oh my gosh, never lucky. Poor Muk. Poor Muk! Alright, so we're gonna lose the Muk. At least we can repin with Garchomp here. We're gonna have to lose it though. Yeah. Let's see if they make a read. Yeah, I'm fine losing it here. I cannot believe that happened like that. To be honest, we're not that far behind. We can repin with Garchomp, and like there's not that much they can do about it. But damn, he didn't even care. He had a Dark Switch in for the Psychic attack and didn't even want to use it. It's fine. Dragon Claw KO from here. Wow. This person doesn't know where the switch button is. I really thought I'd be able to get away with that. I really did. The reason we want to throw away the Muk in that situation is because they have Gliscor, Azelf, and Nidoking. Muk's cool. It's what we're going to try our best to feature today, but it's not always going to work, right? It's not always optimal. Big weaknesses to Ground and Psychic. You know, Alolan Muk wouldn't have that Psychic weakness. Would have been a lot easier to use. Let's see what they want to send out here. Am I afraid of Gliscor? Probably not. Am I afraid of Rotom? Maybe if they send it out right here, to send it out to pin my Garchomp, I might be afraid. Nidoking, I'd be afraid of Scarf Nidoking. I'd switch right to Blissey. Spiritomb, I'd just sub. Azelf, I'd probably just go for a Dragon Claw. Spiritomb, yeah, I'll just sub. Like, the only set for a Spiritomb would be, like, something like Will-O-Wisp, probably, I would imagine. Actually, Spiritomb does get Infiltrator, so if I sub, this might just be costing me a fourth of my health for no reason. Let's sub, though. Show me that Will-O-Wisp. They're probably assuming we're Scarf Chomp, just by how we kind of played it. Hypnosis. Bruh! Blocked. We take those. All the way to the bank, yo. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We get a free SD baby out of this. Still have to respect Scarf Nidoking. But that's basically it. So we SD here. They can break our sub this turn with probably like a Nightshade or something. If they even I don't know what they actually are going to have. I didn't know Spiritomb like glowed like that. This might not break our sub. It's stab, but it might not break it. We're pretty bulky. Alright, we fade the sub. So let's see. Do we sub again and lose the health if they go for a Dark Pulse? The correct play for them in this situation where you're fighting a Submon is it doesn't matter if I KO your Spiritomb. What you actually want to do is end this without me having a sub so you can then repin with something like Azelf or a Scarf Nidoking. So you just want to click that Dark Pulse. If you're ever in this situation and you're fighting against a Submon, just click that Dark Pulse over and over and over and over again and make it so, yes, you're going to lose your Spiritomb potentially, but I don't get a sub up. Because if I get the sub up, I'm going to win the game. I'm just going to click the EQ. I think I might be able to get the KO here. And if you also are going for Hypnosis, it's still a 60% accuracy move. Yeah, so this is a win-win for me as well. Like, obviously, I am the person in the advantage in this situation just because I have a Pokemon that, you know, has the correct speed, has, like, the correct Earthquake, got a Swords Dance off, has sub. You know, you were trying to use Spiritomb to counter Garchomp. That's not how it technically works. So I'm the one that is still in the driver's seat, but the best situation for the Spiritomb player in that situation is to make it so I end this without a sub, which technically they did. Luckily for me, I got 2 leftovers ticks, so I'm not that bad. If you send out Nidoking here, I will switch, because I'm afraid of Scarf Nidoking. I will go to Blissey and then put Rocks, and then probably just wall it out. The fact that you've lost Heracross and your Spiritomb means it's a lot easier to use Blissey now. Blissey can hit every one of these Pokemon for pretty good damage. If you have Gliscor here, we'll see. There's the Rotom. Rotom's a little bit dicey, right? I don't know if it's Scarf Rotom. I don't know if it's Scarf Wisp. Usually when on a Scarf Rotom set, you see like Hydro Pump, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, and every once in a while you see Trick or Will-O-Wisp as the last move. I'm just going to go for the Dragon Claw because I'm pretty sure we can just take it out after a Swords Dance. Are you Scarfed? You are Scarf Rotom. This will not KO me though, because we big bulky. Because Scarf Rotoms usually have to be timid. So Dragon Claw should do a lot. Should do a lot. Garchomp's so good. Take out that Rotom, easy peasy. So that means you're probably not going to be Scarf Nidoking. It's probably like a Life Orb Sheer Force Nidoking at this point. I feel you would have sent this out by now. I feel like the fact that you went through all that just to send out the Rotom, like we're in such a good spot. At this point, you can Psychic. Now let me think. You have a Gliscor, an Azelf, and a Nidoking. I can just switch to Blissey. It's fine. Because I was thinking about, like, I kind of want to save the Garchomp to always check the Nidoking. Because I'm pretty sure it's a Sheer Force Life Orb Nidoking at this point. So let's go to Blissey. We'll block the Psychic. We'll set up Rock, set up a Thunder Wave. Yep, Psychic's easy peasy. Not doing a lot. You can obviously Explosion here. And you might take out the Blissey if you're mixed. But I think I'm in a pretty decent spot. We want to Stealth Rocks first, in case you switch Nidoking to block the Thunder Wave. And that would break the Azelf Sash upon you coming back in. Yep, obviously. You see? It's almost like I played the game. You can go right into your Nidoking. I do not realistically care. We're going to get those rocks to break the Azelf, which means it's going to be easier to deal with that later on, especially with our Azelf or something. Gliscor coming in. It's fine with me. You know, you have 2 ground types. No reason to just throw out the YOLO Thunder Wave like that. Set those rocks. You can obviously defog me away, but I think this turn we're just going to switch to our Rotom. Our Rotom is a big pin against all of these Pokemon. Great pin versus Gliscor and Nidoking. decent enough because we're scarfed on Azelf. They can't switch in on it, and I actually think we can KO the Azelf if they switch in, take the rocks damage and the Hydro Pump. I think we'll get the KO. So you might have the defog here. Either way, that would just let me get a free switch to my Rotom. Might be a knockoff here too. Fling the Toxicorp. Cool set. I'm super happy Blissey didn't get poisoned. Not that you should be trying to poison a Blissey realistically, because it has natural cure, and even the Blissey that we're using like has natural cure. You shouldn't really be trying to poison that, but it is what it is. I'm just gonna go for the Hydro. Hydro D's. Survey says Hydro, please protect Gliscor. So protect Toxicorp, Fling, EQ, which means it's not gonna have defog, which means we're absolutely fine here. Just throw in the Rotom until it eventually gets a KO on something. That actually means it can't even break Garchomp. I can just Swords Dance against it. I'm assuming the last move is EQ. He gets a double protect. Literally never lucky. Oh my goodness. The most unluckiest situation the world has ever seen. And he's probably going to switch this thing out. I wouldn't imagine. He could switch it out and then bring it back in and go for more protects, but I'll just go for more, yeah, I'll go for more Hydros. Got no problem with that. Can't believe we got double protected in singles. I swear, the history of my life, this like week has been just getting double protected by like Zacians, Gliscors, Incineroars. So many Pokemon have been using double protect on me. It's just ridiculous. So let's see what they want to switch to. One sec. Yeah, they're thinking. Hydro hits. Needed that hit. You're gone. Yeet. Oh my god, they're actually alive. I cannot believe they're alive. So the last move is knock off. Okay. It's going to knock off my Scarf. I actually really, really like that. So Rotom will die. I don't think there's a problem with switching here, realistically. You would want to switch to... It's hard to say. I'll switch to Gliscor because you're going to... You have knockoff, Fling. Right? Knockoff, Fling. Protect. The EQ? I don't know if we saw the last move. I thought we saw the last move. Was it U-turn? I don't remember actually. I can just go free roost out of this though and just U-turn out. And the cool thing about our Gliscor set, the thing I really, really like about our Gliscor is because we're always slower than other Gliscors. So we can always U-turn slowly versus them. So like we're actually super fine here just to roost. Yep, knockoff's fine. Like we already got the Toxicorp active, so we're fine. I know that we're slower, so we'll be able to soak damage and then U-turn out and then go back in with something that can repin this guy. Yeah, Fling. It was Fling, Fling, Protect, Knock Off. I think it was one other move. What do you got, Chief? Yep, you got a Witchrock Gliscor, which means I can repin with Garchomp on the Nidoking. I don't think it's a Scarfed Nidoking. I really, really don't think it's Scarfed. We'll see. Take that big rocks damage all the way to the bank. Part of me wants to use like Dragon Claw and try and catch the Azelf on the switch in. Let's see. We can just go Azelf. We can just go with our Azelf actually. We're faster. And if it's Scarfed Nidoking, we would just clock our Sash. So it's a great time to go Azelf here. Big Psychic. Where are you looking, buddy? Huh? Psychic. Your Life Orb Sheer Force boosted. Not today. Yeet, delete, repeat. That was Protect. So Protect, Fling, Knock Off, and Earthquake. I'm assuming it's Earthquake, right? Alright, so we'll just U-turn here. Go into Blissey. We took rocks damage too. Yeah, it's nice. U-turn, baby! Let's go. Can I win a speed tie? Survey says... Ooh. Non-shiny Azelf loses the speed tie to shiny Azelf. SMH. And we can just go into a few different Pokemon. We go into Blissey here. We could technically go into Garchomp. We could also go into Gliscor. I'm going to go into Gliscor and just U-turn. Because we're at full health, we can just soak it. Yep, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Get that free Toxic Heal. And then we'll just repin. If you want to go into your Gliscor, that's fine. We'll just go back out to our Azelf. Psychic, it's not going to do enough. Even a crit wouldn't KO. Yep, crit's a 1.5. Not going to do it. Come right in with our Azelf or our Garchomp. And we're good to go. I'll come in with the Garchomp and just pop a Swords Dance on it. I don't think knockoff would KO us here. Plus we get a leftovers tick, right? Yep, awesome. Easy. We'll take it. Pretty good game. I wish we would have been able to use Muk a little bit easier, but like that guy had a really good team versus Muk. So it takes rocks damage. They're probably going to protect here, so we'll just Swords Dance. Swords Dance. Wow, no protect. Never lucky. They were just going to eat the Dragon Claw. They would have been down to that probably. Alright, what do you got? EQ. So EQ knockoff, fling protect. That's fine. That leftovers difference right there. And now you can protect all you want, but like I have the damage to like actually punish. You're definitely using protect here, but it's okay. Oh, no protect. We take those. Yeet, delete, repeat. We do be taking those all the way to the bank. As we take the first game today, you absolutely do love to see it. All right, I'm pretty sure Manaphy's and Ubers, but other than that, pretty cool team. I do like the Muk here versus most of those Pokemon. I actually think I'm going to lead with Muk. I just think Muk can be really, really good at poisoning a lot of those Pokemon through the use of like Poison Touch and or Poison Jab. And if you lead Staraptor, it's not like it just like one-shots Muk, so we can actually get the Acid Armor off and then probably into a Rest, which would then force the Mesprit. And if you want to lead Mesprit, just go right into Blissey. So like that's fine. I think Muk's a pretty good lead here. Things like, you know, Vespiquen, those are going to be like Toxic Stallers. Luxray, not that great versus like Muk. Overall, the only real checks they have are like Mesprit and Manaphy, and we can just switch to Blissey versus those. So we're going to be okay, I think. Leading Muk. Man, I miss Alolan Muk. I loved playing with Muk in the Let's Go games. Alolan Muk was like my go-to Pokemon to stop all the Mega Mewtwo teams, and yeah, we don't see Mega Mewtwo here, but I guess we're still fighting Ubers because we're fighting against Manaphy. Let's see what they want to lead with. I think Staraptor is probably their best lead. Either Staraptor or Mesprit. Remember, their team is Toxicroak, Mesprit, and I would always recommend you guys take pictures of their teams. Always take pictures of their teams because there's no team preview. You always see me looking down in these videos because I'm always looking at their team. So Mesprit. That's the standard Stealth Rocks lead. I think it still does get rocks, so we'll go right to Blissey, I think, to bait either the rocks and or, the rocks and or, you know, just a big Psychic. So just go right to Blissey. We can even go right to Gliscor if we wanted to, but I think the Blissey is better to soak the Psychic with. And then, because remember, Mesprit also does get Ice Beam. Unlike Azelf, Mesprit gets the Bolt Beam combo of Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Psychic. Gets really, really good coverage. I think the only difference between like Mesprit and Azelf, other than like base stats, is like Azelf gets like Flamethrower, which is pretty cool as well. So we'll go right to Blissey. We'll set our own rocks, Thunder Wave, potentially force it out, and then go to something like, our Gliscor to defog if we have to. We don't really care that much about rocks, believe it or not, on this team. Stealth rocks are fine. So should I even realistically care about rocks? Because like I'm going to want to defog it. Like I don't have to, but I will. So we'll just go for a Thunder Wave. You don't have anything that stops Thunder Wave other than switching in Luxray. If you switch in Luxray, there isn't anything actually wrong with me going into Gliscor. Just a defog, which means I don't need to waste the time to set rocks if I'm just going to defog them away. So we're in a really, really good spot here. You might U-turn. I don't think Mesprit has any big pins for Blissey. Let's see. Shiny Mesprit. Man, more games featuring like the Lake Trio, man. I just want to use my Muk. I wonder how well we actually eat Psychic. I wonder if it's even a physical Mesprit. Like it really realistically might be. That's totally possible. They're hard switching. Alright, so something's getting paralyzed unless it's Luxray. Alright, that's the correct switch in here. So far they're playing this game 100% correct based on what their team says that it does. Right? I don't have a problem here. We'll go right to Gliscor. We'll soak the damage. I think this thing does get Ice Fang. But again, we don't really care that much about rocks. There's a realistic chance of them going for like, I think a fighting attack here. You wouldn't be going for an electric attack. We have 2 ground types. They're taking a long time with these turns. They're really thinking about it. So even though their team like has an Uber in the Manaphy, for the most part though, they are playing this like pretty correct, I would say. And their Guts Luxray. So that means we actually can just check it with Garchomp whenever we feel like it. But we don't want to switch in the Garchomp on an Ice Fang. That's the big issue here. Let's see if they Ice Fang the Blissey slot. Survey says There's nothing wrong with him Ice Fanging here. It's such a good play. Facade. Man, even more guts boost to Facade Mons. Alright. And they take that damage. So I don't think we get KO'd by that. Because, like, that's... You're taking into account, like, yes, I'm at a little bit under 50, but there is the, what is it? There is the Stealth Rocks to account for that. That's neutral damage. So 12% more, 12.5. Also, if they were to use Ice Fang, like, I don't know if, like, that's a big a deal. I'll go for the Defog. I'm going to try it. I think if they have it, like, we'll see if we live. Facade, I don't think we die. 1 HP! Hashtag calculated. Wins up right now. Getting rid of these rocks. Gonna force that Mesper out later. If you think I'm gonna let you get away with that again, you're dead wrong. You're dead wrong. There's a few Pokemon we can actually bring this Gliscor in and abuse, like the Vespiquen too. So, like, we're actually not just foddering our Gliscor. Unless we want to. I don't think there's a problem with going to the Garchomp here. Garchomp can eat the Facade pretty well. Probably do about 60%. And then we'll just repin with... We could Dragon Claw and or use Earthquake, I think. Facade's gonna do a lot. Oof. Big damage. Dragon Claw might KO. I'm gonna go for the Dragon Claw. I'd like to catch the Mesprit, realistically. If we lose the Garchomp here, I don't think it's the end of the world. Because, like, at that point, it would just open up a slot for Azelf, and then we put up rocks, and then we're the ones that are bullies for the rest of the game. So I don't hate this, even if it costs us our Garchomp. I think there's a high chance they switch to Staraptor. And unless it's Scarfed, we're in a great spot. Because even in Intimidated, you still might take over half. But so far, this person's played this game absolutely 100% correct, given the tools that they have. Absolutely 100% correct, given the tools that they have. Big Facade energy off the Guts Luke's right. You got to switch, right? You have to, right? Switch to a flying type. It's going to probably be the Staraptor. Awesome, that's fine. This should still take probably over half, and it's Intimidate, so it's not Reckless, which means it's probably not Scarfed. Let's see if we do over half. We do not at all. Not even close. We can go right to Rotom, though. Cool. We still get to keep the Garchomp. That's great. And they're lefties. Huh. Okay. There's nothing wrong with lefties either. Lefties tells me a little bit more about maybe it's like a Roost Defog set. Right to Rotom. You don't have any ground types. That's the big problem with your team, is you don't have any ground types. So I can just always go for like Thunder Waves. You have electric type, so I can always go for like electric attacks too. So let's see what you want to do. U-turn here would be a little bit problematic because you get to repin me with something like Toxicroak maybe. Bravery, that's completely fine. So we're going to get the pin here. Free U-turn. If you want to go into Luke's, I get another repin with Garchomp, or I get to go into my Azelf. And that's just really, really good. So we'll go for a Volt Switch. This should KO. They should know that we're Scarfed, by the way. They should. They should know that we're Scarfed because we took too much damage and we didn't show leftovers. Right? So they should know that we're Scarfed. And so they're probably going to either go into their Luke's Ray or go into their Mesprit, I would say, is another good option, is Mesprit. If I went in with Mesprit, that would change how we're going to do this. I'd probably go for a Rocks trade at that point, go into Blissey and Rocks trade. Because I want to be able to start using Rocks damage to our advantage. They can't bring in the Staraptor as much. They know we're Scarfed. See, they're making all the right plays. They're playing this so perfectly. Alright, at this point, we can probably get away with going in with Azelf, I would say. Azelf should be able to KO after the burn damage. And it also threatens rocks. Hard game so far. This is a hard game. I don't think I'm going to be able to easily use Muk in this one unless they bring out the Vespiquen. So we'll see how this one works. Psychic should KO from there. So we'll be able to take out at least one Pokemon. If they want to come in with the Mesprit here and block the Psychic, we'll be able to scout for leftovers. And we'll see. We also have to keep our Rotom, like, healthy. That's why we couldn't just click Thunderbolt. We have to keep Rotom healthy so it can always check the mana feed. But we'll see. Psychic should get the KO here. The hard switch. Is it Mesprit? Are you that good at Pokemon? Vespiquen. Okay, let's see how much damage this thing actually takes. Like, realistically. I think they just wanted to get this thing in before rocks. I think that's what their plan was. That's great damage. It's lefties. I'm going to put up rocks. I don't think this thing gets a defog. And then we'll hard switch out the turn after. I don't think it gets defogged. This is a throw for me if it does. Because I'm basically, like, giving them my sash for free when I could just switch to Gliscor. But I don't think it does. I really don't think it gets defog. And I also don't think you would put defog on a Pokemon that has like a 4 times weakness to rocks. The double switch. Okay. They thought we're switching. Let's see what they think we're switching to. They're going to Manaphy. That's fine. We can 2-shot this. They thought we were going to go into Blissey probably. And they're going to try and take advantage of that with Tail Glow. Let's see. Another Pokemon that they could have thought we would go into would be Gliscor. Yeah. That would have been a good switch in. Good thing we didn't. We should go for Thunderbolt. Should be a 2-shot. Thunderbolt. 2-shot, even if they have lefties. U-turn's fine. Mixed or physical Manaphy? That seems to be physical. That's awkward. That's weird. I don't know how I feel about that. If they come with Toxicroak, I'll switch. I think it'd be a Sucker Punch potential. Anything that comes in, though, takes rocks damage for the rest of the game. So you want to start bringing your rocks users. Sorry, your defog users. So Straptor's cool here, but we outspeed and KO with Thunderbolt. Luxray's cool. We get the KO. We have a big pins here. The only good mon here is Toxicroak. Or Mesprit, sorry. And we'll just U-turn against Mesprit. Do we U-turn? I think we do. It is lefties. Awesome. Cool. The best they can do is set rocks here. We can always defog away our rocks if we want to. Or we can just save this Azelf for like a fodder. Like I just send it out mid-game to get a free switch to something. Like it just gets KO'd. So U-turn's fine. You're going to use rocks here, right? We don't want to go into Muk. We don't want to go into Rotom. Yeah, Blissey's okay. Blissey seems a little bit dicey here, but it is okay. Rocks are okay. That's completely fine. I can't believe they had the balls to go for that, by the way. And at this point, we're actually just gonna click. We're actually just gonna let them have rocks for the rest of the game, I think, and just click Seismic Toss into like pretty much all their mons for the rest of the game. They're gonna eventually have to bring in the Toxicroak. That's the turn we'll go fodder our Azelf switch in, and then we'll repin with like a Garchomp. And then we'll be in a pretty decent spot, I think, or even repin with Rotom or something. That's the idea moving forward. We want to get stealth. We want to get Seismic Toss damage. Like anything that switches in here takes Seismic Toss plus Stealth Rocks. It's too much damage. It's just way too much. And if you want to defog, you just set rocks, so you're the ones that's wasting your time. You can U-turn here if I go into Rotom. But if I go into my Azelf here, you don't get to U-turn anything, and then I can repin with Garchomp unintimidated. I like that. I like that play. Is Garchomp going to take it out, though? That's the question. No, I can just repin with Rotom at that point. Yeah, I like this. We'll go fodder the Azelf in this situation. You don't even get to use your move. You don't even get a close combat or U-turn. That's the good thing about it. So we fodder Azelf, and then we get a repin with Rotom. And at this point, I might actually lock myself into Thunderbolt, realistically. Because you're running out of mons that can actually switch in on the Thunderbolt. So I don't need to U-turn it. I don't need to Volt Switch it as much. So let's see if they're using U-turn here, or Facade, or something weird. Defog. Defog's going to fail because there's no target. That tells me that you definitely want to preserve your Sash. Not going to let you do that, buddy. Not going to let you do that. Everyone's taking rocks damage for the rest of this game. This is a close one, man. This is a really, really close game. So Thunderbolt's going to be absolutely amazing here. You're really, really running out of Pokemon that can switch in on this. And the thing is, like, I have a Blissey. Yes, you have a Toxicroak, but as long as I preserve, not necessarily my Azelf, I think if I can preserve my my Muk, I can actually probably wall your Toxicroak, as weird as that sounds. Because, like, Toxicroak's going to have, like, potentially like a Sucker Punch, like a Drain Punch. It's probably not packing, like, a ground attack. It's probably maybe like an Ice Punch. One Acid Arm, and we should be able to just wall it out. You have to switch. Luxray's your only switch in. You're going to take Rocks damage, Burn damage, and 2 Thunderbolts. Vespiquen's also just a throwaway here. It's a complete throwaway. I'll take it. And you thought we were Volt switching, and we're not. So this is one of your only chances to bring in, like, Toxicroak for free. I don't know if I'll let you. You have Staraptor, Luxray, Manaphy, Mesprit, and Toxicroak. Still some really good mounts. You might go with the Mesprit here. I'm happy we took out the Vespiquen, but that was one of the only situations where Gliscor will be able to heal against. So I don't see a situation where Gliscor can ever heal, so Gliscor is potentially fodderable as well now. And they're making this more of a war of attrition than I actually want it to be. I don't think this game will go to time unless they make it go to time. Garchomp's low, but it outspeeds all of their Pokemon. I just have to play it smart. The other's Toxicroak. Do I just go for the Thunderbolt? And then bring in Garchomp? I don't think that's actually wrong. I'll do it. Oh, I'm going to try it. I'm actually just going to do it. I'm going to go for the Thunderbolt. And just bring in Garchomp. It's so much damage. It puts it in the range of the Earthquake. Drain Punch is fine. I think it's still within range of Earthquake. Oh, especially because I didn't kill me. Oh my gosh. I can't believe that. We actually just get the KO. They can Sucker Punch us here. That should be fine. I don't care about Sucker Punch. Yeah, I don't care about it. You're within range for Earthquake. And if you switch into Staraptor, you still get KO'd. Cool beans. This is the last Pokemon that checks Blissey, right? If you switch this thing out for Mesprit, I don't think it's the end of the world. Because I'll just switch into Blissey and then we'll eventually be probably fine. Dragon Claw is actually probably just enough to take out here. I'm gonna Dragon Claw. I think it might be Mesprit coming in. You're gonna look at your team and you're gonna think, what can I switch in here? You're gonna think you can switch in Staraptor and or Mesprit. Staraptor will get KO'd. Mesprit would take maybe over half. It's hard to say. You could think about Sucker Punching as well. I don't know about that one. We know you're not Scarfed because you use 2 different moves. So we're in a good spot. I think Dragon Claw takes out from here. Yeah, you gotta switch it out. You gotta save that thing for Blissey. You have to. And that's gonna be... You're gonna fodder the Luxray and then come in with Staraptor probably. Okay. Just follow me. Every time you fodder, like we're just gonna trade fodders basically. You send in the Staraptor, I send out Gliscor, and then I get repin, and I get like a leftovers tick, which mitigates your rocks damage every single time. I can almost go for a sub here if I really needed to. Mesprit. It's Ice Beam tech. If I were to KO this thing, do I have any? I don't have any Pokemon that can outspeed to pin it. So I need to save this Garchomp. I need to. You're gonna Ice Beam. I'll go to Blissey. I'll go to the Blissey this turn. I'll give you one turn where I'm not just trading with you all game. Let's scout for the Ice Beam. If you Psychic, I don't really care. Because now you can't switch in on a Thunder Wave anymore. Dazzling Gleam, okay. Same issue as Psychic, basically. You have Toxicroak, Manaphy, Staraptor, Mesprit. Staraptor can't switch in. And you can't beat me with this Pokemon. If I just click Seismic twice, nothing switches in on this. And if I take out the Mesprit, you're running out of Pokemon to switch in on Garchomp. It's a very, very close game right now. If I take out this Mesprit, it really opens up what Muk can do. You're switching in, something's going to die, right? Manaphy is threatened. You can rest, but I think you might just die to this. I really think you might die. Depends on if you're really, really aggressive. Like, if you're super aggressive, you might die. I'll take it. That's one. You're going to send out the Toxicroak. We'll follow the Gliscor. We'll beat him with Garchomp, and we win the game. Oh my gosh. This is a hard one, man. This person's played perfectly. This person's played this game absolutely perfectly, I think. Staraptor, that's different. Rocks damage up. You're going to go for the... See, like, this is where I'm looking at this. I don't care if you get the Defog up if I get the KO. And if you go for, like, a close combat KO, I just repin with Garchomp. It doesn't actually matter to me. Battle's going to end in 3 minutes. I have the Pokemon advantage. I should probably try and hold on to that. I'm going to go to the Muk. Now, do I want to do that? You could go for a Roost here. I'll toss once. I don't care if you roost. I really don't care. Like, I have the advantage in time right now. So that means I should be Thunder Waving in these situations. So we actually, remember, we scouted that earlier on in the game. Once we saw the leftovers, we scouted the potential for Roost Defog. Brave Bird's not going to do it, so we'll just go for a Thunder Wave and switch to Muk. And if you want to defog, that should still be fine. Like, we've already done enough damage with the rocks, I think. Yeah, Thunder Wave switch to Muk. Acid Armor wins the game. For the most part. It forces you to bring in another Pokemon that you don't realistically want to bring in. And we're just in a good spot. We can probably actually just chill with Blissey versus Brave Bird, realistically. Because I don't think you have close combat. If you do have close combat, I don't know if it KOs versus like how bulky your Straptor is. So Thunder Wave's big busted here. Like, I dare you to Brave Bird by Blissey, see what happens. I dare you to Brave Bird Blissey, see what happens. We can also repin with Muk here, which is really, really good. Because now Muk should outspeed. Yeah, just toss it up. Like, force your play. If you go for the defog, I'll just reset it. Reset the rocks. So you're switching in Toxicroak, right? So Toxicroak might die here. That's not going to die yet. And then we'll just switch in the Muk, and we're good to go. Yes. Alright, so Drain Punch would do way too much to any of these guys. We can actually switch in Gliscor and Fodder, but I think going to Muk is alright. Because, like, even if you can hit with the Muk, I can just repin with Garchomp, I think. Battle's going to end in 60 seconds. I'm not going to try and time them. Let's see what you got, Chief. What are you using versus Blissey? Show me that DP. Drain Punch. Not going to do enough. We don't technically do a lot with, like, Poison Jab here, but I don't think they can actually pin us. I don't think this thing even gets Earthquake. Let's go for the Poison Jab in case I want to switch out. Like Straptor? Yeah, show me that Straptor switch in, boys. Show it to me. Mesprit, same thing. You might lose it. Let's go, Muk. Finishing blow. Finishing blow, Muk. 105 base attack coming in hot. Can we get a 30% poison? Survey says the Poison Touch. Muk literally finishing blowing this guy. For the most part, because we can just wall it. We just switch to Blissey, and eventually, like, it's going to mitigate your leftovers, and we have a free pin with Seismic Toss. Yo, wins up. Even though this game went to time, we are still going to take those wins all the way to the bank. Muk big busted, coming in hot, yo, fourth quarter, late game, and we take those wins all the way to the bank. Yeah, absolutely do love to see it. This guy played perfectly. Perfectly. Using a team with a lower tier Pokemon than mine, but they did have an Uber and Manaphy. So, and they're going to scoop. So, we're going to take those wins, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl content on YouTube. And other than that, keep being awesome. Thanks so much for watching the content, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.